So Monet's need for control is arguably one of her biggest downfalls, and now she's gonna realize the one person that she could really do with is in jail, thanks to Kane. And it really is a vicious cycle with Monet Tejada, but as Kane said, she's the problem, and all of the problems that we're gonna speak about in this video, most of them are Monet's fault, because she tried to play both Tariq and Kane against each other, and if you think Monet had problems before, she's got some serious issues going into the second half on so many different levels. 3 of the biggest reasons which we're going to run through in detail, which are all equally as important, is how Monet needs Tariq for business purposes, how she needs Tariq for Zeke, and how she needs Tariq because he really is the only person that she can trust. She's going to realize that he's the glue that can keep her mini empire and family together. But now Lorenzo is out, I'm sure he's got other plans, and does he even want to work with Tariq and course correct, or does he want to bring the business back to the streets and with the GTG because of his loyalty to Big Guap? Let's remind ourselves of his character description first of all, which described him as the patriarch of the Tejada organization. Lorenzo's been calling the shots for the drug organization, even from inside. But as Monet continues to flex her independence and a desire to protect her kids from the game, Lorenzo's need to control brings them into conflict. Lorenzo becomes intrigued by some secrets that Monet's been keeping from him, and a conflict grows and threatens to split the Tejada family in two. So everything we run through in this family is going to come back round to how the Tejada family is on the verge of splitting in half, because what else has Monet been keeping from him besides a secret about Mecca and Zeke? We're going to run through all of this, looking at both Monet and Lorenzo in this character analysis. But let's run through why Monet needs Tariq for a business, and the main reason is because Lorenzo's going to take back control, and we really don't know how Lorenzo is going to run the family business. Do you really think he'll want to work with Kane as the plug and not know who the connect is? I don't think so. Lorenzo will also show, just like Monet, he's also controlling when it comes to the family business. He's going to want to know every single bit of detail, so I really wouldn't be surprised if he went and found his own connect. Another thing is, does he really want to work with Tariq and course correct, or does he want to keep his loyalty to Big Guap and the GTG and bring the business back to the streets instead of Stansfield? The thing is, Tariq's system works thanks to some help from Braden as well, because it helps them stay invisible and it also helps them keep off the streets, which is beneficial. As we all know, street and gang wars is always bad for business, and working with Lil Guap is also bad for business because he still hasn't learned his lesson from season 1, being all over social media. And Lorenzo technically does owe Tariq one because of his help in putting Diana in touch with Davis McLean, so he may give him a chance, or should I say Braden. Tariq's in jail until he is released, which we'll go through later on in this video. So could we see Lorenzo wanting to meet Braden and see who Monet's been doing business with? I definitely think so. So Tariq being Monet's only means of business is a big reason why she needs him, because you can guarantee the way Lorenzo wants to do things is going to be totally different to Monet, because he hasn't liked the way Monet's been doing business since way back in season 1 anyway. But moving on to the second reason, Monet needs Tariq for Zeke. We all saw the look on Zeke's face when he saw Tariq being arrested and being taken away, and it really would have been a bag of mixed emotions for Zeke, because sure, he would have been happy that his name was finally cleared in public and he wasn't the suspect that they were looking at, but he would never have been put in this place if it wasn't for Kane and Tariq in the first place. But Zeke needs Tariq, regardless of him entering the draft. Tariq does Zeke's papers and keeps him playing ball, and that's an issue for both Monet and Zeke. For Zeke, because it's going to hurt him not being on the court if he can't keep his grades up, which has a knock-on effect on Monet's long-term vision and exit strategy. She wants to manage Zeke as well as have Drew and Diana play their positions when and if Zeke goes pro. Big if, by the way. And Monet's exit strategy has caused a whole nother problem in itself with Drew and Diana, which brings me on to how Monet needs Tariq, because he really is the only person she can trust out of all of her kids. Tariq's ghostlight move that he pulled when she had her car locked was smooth and smart on Tariq's part, because it opened Monet's eyes to how all of her kids, Drew, Diana and Kane, have been all going behind her back apart from himself, and he made her realize just how much she not only needs him, but how much they need each other. Especially now that Lorenzo is out of prison, we're going to see Diana moving with a bit more confidence and swagger, even stepping up to Monet as we saw in the episode 6 trailer, and we're going to see Lorenzo making Drew step up ahead of Kane. And we all know how much Monet loves control over her family and her kids. We've spoken about her controlling ways over Drew, Diana and Zeke especially, but the psychological effects of a controlling mother is huge. Monet may think she's trying to protect her kids and shielding them, but what she doesn't realize is she's pushing them further away, and she's the reason for them rebelling against her. For example, if she accepted Kane's connect, he would never have made the powdered sugar move. If she had more faith in Diana, she'd know she's capable of studying and moving weight. But now they're just going to completely turn around and do the opposite of what Monet wants them to do. And with Lorenzo being home, just look how happy Drew and Diana are. And this is another image from one of the promo teasers of what looks like Lorenzo's welcome home party. And Diana is definitely daddy's girl. So Monet's going to start losing control over both her kids. And this is why she needs Tariq more than ever. And Tariq will be out of jail at the end of episode 6 or 7 I'm predicting, which I went through briefly in a previous video, because we saw this teaser, and Brayden isn't the only character he's gonna have issues with. He's gonna have issues with Kane, Lauren, and Monet as well. So she's gonna have to do something to get Tariq back on side. Maybe paying for his bail or helping him with Davis McLean and Cooper Sachs will go a long way in gaining Tariq's trust back. But I asked a question at the beginning of the video: what are the secrets has Monet been keeping from Lorenzo? Now Monet is someone who knows how dangerous Tariq is, because she knows some of the bodies that he's dropped, including Ghost, his own father, as well as Jabari. But Monet doesn't even know half of Tariq's story. She doesn't know about Ray Ray and what he did to Kanan to save his family, and what other trauma he's been through in his life before she met him. So we all know Tariq will do anything and sacrifice anyone else for his family, especially Yaz. If he's capable of killing his own father and sacrificing Kanan, then he's capable of sacrificing anyone, and that includes Kane and Monet herself. And let's not forget, she has been warned before by Tommy to watch Tariq, but as we've gone through in this video, it seems like he's all she's got at this moment in time. But this is a huge secret that Monet is keeping from Lorenzo if she hasn't already told him, because would Lorenzo want to do business with someone like Tariq if he did know what he was capable of and what he's done in the past? And what does Lorenzo even know? Because I'm sure he's someone who knows more than he's letting on. The way he kept his release a secret and the way he said he was home. He's someone who definitely knows Monet clearly didn't try hard enough to get him released. So he knows more than Monet thinks. And this will change the game completely. Because we're yet to see what Lorenzo knows. We're yet to see what he's capable of. Who his extended family is. And are there any other players that he knows? For example, does he know who Cristobal is, and has he told him anything about the streets, about who Ghost and Tommy were, and who Tariq really is? There are still so many questions about Lorenzo's character, which is why we really can't dive too deep on him just yet. So we've just got to wait a bit longer to see what his motives and intentions are. But again, all of this will contribute towards the conflict between Lorenzo and Monet, as we went through right at the beginning of this video, because can you really see them working harmoniously together? Definitely not, especially once Lorenzo finds out the truth about Mecca and Zeke especially. Lorenzo's made it clear he doesn't give a shit about Zeke when he refused to help him, so I really wouldn't be surprised if he was the one firing at Mecca, Monet and Zeke in the basketball court that was teased before the season started. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on both Monet and Lorenzo. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.